Hello people, this video has nothing to do with comics, movies, has to do with life in general. Has to do with Valentine's Day and Christmas. Yes, I'm going to tell you a story. They're two separate stories, but basically the same idea behind them. So it's Valentine's Day, I think probably early 90s, 93, 94, something like that. And Kathy, she wasn't my wife at the time. We didn't get married until June. We didn't get married to June 2000. But 1993 or 94, we were living together, yeah. I left my house and moved in with her. She had a house, a 4-bedroom house. She had 4 kids. I brought my daughter with me, Christine. Anyway, the thing is, it's about Christmas and Valentine's Day. So it's Valentine's Day, give or take a year, 93, 94. A day before, or something like that, I go into Shoppers Drug Mart. Some of you just don't know what that is, but it's a drugstore and they sell stuff and whatever. So they sell perfume, right? So I go in there and there's girls in there with these white little smocks on. And they're sitting behind the counter, one's walking around and stuff. And I walk up to one of them and I say, I want that. It's in this door, you know, the glass door, it's got the lock on it, and you open it up. I said, I want a bottle of that, Chanel No. 5. I don't know if it was Chanel No. 5, but we'll just say it, that's what it was. And I said, a certain ounce, you know, a certain amount of money, that's how much it's worth and all that stuff. And they pulled it out of the you know, the glass container, you know, cupboard. And they said, you sure this is what you want? And I said, oh yeah, I'm sure. So they bring it over to the, you know, the counter, cash register. A couple of girls are talking to me, and they go, boy, this doesn't happen that often. And I go, what do you mean, what doesn't happen? She goes, man like yourself comes in here and they walk up and they say they want this, they want that perfume, and that's what they want. I said, that never happens? And they go, no, not very often. I go, oh. I said, well, what happens? And they go, most men come in here and they go, I want to buy something from my wife. Yeah, and they go, what do you want? They go, I don't know what I want. I want something nice, something for my wife, but a perfume, but I don't know. So the girls behind the counters and the girls serving you and stuff, they kind of pick out a perfume and they give it to the man and he takes it home. He hasn't got a clue to what he's got, right? He doesn't have a clue, right? He just bought some perfume for his wife. She said, but that happens all the time. Men don't have a clue to what they're buying for their wife. See, you're different. You come in and you know exactly what you want. And that hardly ever happens. I don't know. I never thought of it. I never thought of that like that. I just know what I want. I know what she likes and what she talks about. I guess you have to pay attention, right? So I bought her something for Valentine's Day, and she liked it. She loved it. Yeah. So now we get on to Christmas. It's getting near Christmas, and I'm down at, I guess at the time it was called Sellers. Everybody knows what Sellers is. Down at Gerrard Square. So yeah, I'm down at Sellers, Christmas time. So I'm down there, I'm in the ladies section. Girls, right? Ladies section. And I'm looking at dress pants for girls, you know, the black ones with the little pockets and stuff. The little legs that got thin as they go down to the bottom. Yeah, I'm looking at those, and I'm looking at blouses. I'm looking at blouses and these dress pants, and I'm putting them together, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm looking at these pants and these blouses. I'm looking at these skirts and stuff like that, and blouses and skirts and pants, and these blouses that got ties with them, with some ties that go around them, and you know, it's like a tie, but it's like, it goes over the front of the blouse. I'm putting the colors together with the pants and looking at this stuff. I buy those, those woolly pajamas that you pull over. They're like one piece with Snoopy on them, like those. And I buy negligee, underwear, brasiers, stuff like that. I get a whole bunch of this stuff in the cart, in the push cart. Yeah, and I take it up to the counter, get in line, Kind of busy, not too busy, but I get in line. Remember, it wasn't too busy, but I get in line, and I start putting all this stuff on the counter. Putting on the counter, blouses, pants, underwear, brasiers, negligees, sleeping wear, pajamas, a whole bunch of stuff. Probably back then at the time, probably $400 or $500, right? Worth the clothes. Christmas time, right? Christmas presents. And this girl, two girls. There was one, adding up the stuff, and the other one putting it in the bags, like bagging it kind of thing, right? And I'm standing there, and he goes, "So you were the guy down in the ladies' department, eh? Looking in the mirrors with the clothes." I go, "Yeah, I guess so." She said, "No." She said, "Because you don't find too many men doing that." I go, "Another thing is like, oh, I didn't know, I don't know that, I didn't know that." And she said, "Another thing is, all these clothes that you got here, right? All this stuff that you got, they all match. You got matching outfits here. You got a blouse that go with the pants, you got a blouse that go with the skirts. You can change them, you can put this blouse with these pants, or this blouse with this skirt, and you got numerous outfits here." I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Well, most men don't do that." "No, they don't." I go, "No, I didn't know that." No, most men haven't got a clue to what to buy their wives. They just go buy clothes, and they just buy clothes. Sometimes they don't even know their wife's size, they just guess. And I go, "Oh, I know her size. I know everything about her, what she likes and all that, so I'm pretty well most everything, most everything." And they go, "Well, that doesn't happen very often. You don't find a man here with a whole bunch of clothes, especially women's clothes, at Christmas time that have matching outfits. Most of the men that buy clothes haven't got a clue the matching outfits. So you're the first one, and first one that I ever saw, and I worked there a few years, I actually knew what he was doing." I went, "Oh, thanks very much. I never thought of that." I do that all the time. I know what my wife, not my wife at the time, but, lived together. Like I said, got married years later. But yeah, Kathleen, yeah, I got her all kinds of Christmas presents. And on Valentine's Day, I bought her perfume, and she used to call me, what did she call me? She called me Honey Bear. You know what I used to call her? Honey Bunny. Yeah, I got Christmas cards and Valentine's Day cards still in a box, tucked away. Yeah, all those years ago. But yeah, Honey Bunny and Honey Bear. Yeah, and I still love you. All right, people, talk to you later. Happy Valentine's Day. And all you men, smarten up.